My fellow Americans, I, James Madison, stand before you not as a specter of the past, but as a voice of caution for your present and future. When I penned Federalist No. 10, I warned against the dangers of factionalism, the division of society into competing groups driven by passion rather than reason. A republic, if it is to endure, must guard against the tyranny of the majority and the selfish interests of the few who would control government for personal gain. Look around you today. Your nation has become consumed by factionalism, not merely in politics, but in the halls of commerce and power. No longer do representatives act in the interest of the people. Instead, they serve corporate masters, the wealthy elite, and their own ambitions. The factions I feared have grown into unchecked entities, poisoning the very foundations of your government. A republic, properly structured, is meant to prevent mob rule and protect the rights of minorities. Yet, today, policies are crafted not for justice, but for profit. Laws are written by those who benefit from them, while the common citizen is left to bear the burden of a system built for the elite. This, my fellow Americans, is not democracy. It is oligarchy. We designed the Constitution with checks and balances to restrain factional tyranny. But those restraints mean nothing if the people become blind to the corruption of their leaders. Your duty as citizens is not to follow factions blindly, but to demand integrity, accountability, and governance for the whole, not the few. If you wish to preserve this republic, you must resist the forces that seek to divide you. You must reclaim the power that rightly belongs to you, the people. Let reason triumph over passion, and let the laws serve justice rather than wealth. Only then will this nation, our great experiment in liberty, continue to shine as a beacon of hope. I am Alexander Hamilton, and I return to warn you of a great peril. I fought for a strong central government to protect the people from the abuses of the few. But I see now that power has been stolen, not by government itself, but by those who wield wealth as a weapon. A nation is only as strong as its institutions. A government that is too weak, that bows to the interests of corporations and oligarchs, is no government at all. It is a puppet, serving masters who neither toil nor bleed for the republic. The Constitution was crafted to ensure that the government serves the people. Yet today, it is clear that the people serve the interests of the wealthy. Look upon the vast inequalities that plague your society. The workers toil while their wages stagnate. The rich grow richer without limit, their fortunes untaxed, their influence unchecked. Corporations write the laws, finance the campaigns, and dictate policy, not for the nation's benefit, but for their own enrichment. This is not the republic we fought for. If America is to be great, it must restore its government to the hands of the people. Commerce must serve the nation, not enslave it. A strong government, independent of corporate control, is the only means to secure the liberty and prosperity of all citizens. Do not mistake unbridled capitalism for freedom. True liberty is the ability to govern oneself, free from the yoke of unchecked power, whether it be held by kings or corporations. Take back your government, for if you do not, others will continue to rule in your stead.
My fellow countrymen, I am Thomas Jefferson, and I have long held that the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the vigilance of its people. You live in times where tyranny does not wear the crown of a king, but the suit of a financier and the title of a politician. Government was meant to be the servant of the people, not its master. And yet, I see before me a nation where the few dictate the lives of the many, where wealth is hoarded by those who refuse to labor, while those who toil are left in want. Let me be clear, when the government ceases to protect the rights of its people, when it prioritizes profit over justice, when it imprisons those who seek only a better life while pardoning those who defile democracy, it is not just the right, but the duty of the people to resist. The power of the state must come from the consent of the governed. If you do not raise your voices, if you do not stand against corruption, then you will be ruled by those who serve themselves. You must reclaim your democracy before it is lost to the hands of tyrants who call themselves businessmen and saviors. Liberty is never given, it is taken, earned, fought for. If you would remain free, then act now, before your children inherit chains instead of rights.
My fellow Americans, I am George Washington, And I warned you once before of the perils that threaten a free republic. The dangers of political parties dividing a nation, of foreign powers meddling in your affairs, and of unchecked ambition corrupting leaders. These threats now loom greater than ever. Political parties were never meant to be tools of division, yet they have become instruments of factional warfare. They no longer serve the people but serve their own perpetuation, trading integrity for power, truth for convenience, and foreign influence. How it has crept into your democracy, not just in the shadows of foreign agents, but in the pockets of global elites who by policies dictate trade and control the wealth of nations without loyalty to any flag. Your duty, as citizens of a free nation, is to put country above party, principle above profit. You must resist the manipulation of those who seek to divide you and reclaim your government from those who do not serve you. Remember, democracy is not an inheritance. It is a responsibility. Guard it well, lest it be lost.
I am Benjamin Franklin, and I remind you of the words I once wrote: those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Your government spies upon you. It monitors your speech, your movements, your thoughts. Under the guise of security, it has taken your privacy, your dignity, and the very freedoms that made this republic great. Surveillance, censorship, control, these are the tools of tyrants. And yet, I see the people willing to trade their rights for convenience, for the illusion of safety. But a government that can watch you at all times is a government that owns you. Liberty must be defended, not surrendered. Do not allow fear to make you complacent. Do not allow those in power to convince you that freedom is too dangerous to be trusted in your hands. Hold them accountable, demand your rights, and never let them take what is yours by birthright. A republic, if you can keep it. The time to act is now.